back to the Caffeinated Librarians, May Impact Public Library's pop culture podcast. I'm Joe.
I'm Lewis.
I'm Katie.
Simona.
And today we're continuing our classic horror series. What is this, 3 out of 4?
Have we done, is this the third one?
This is the third one, yeah.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right, so-
Insert scream here.
So we've checked out The Last Man on Earth, Simona's pick with Vincent Price, and Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, which I did not catch, but I've seen it before. Great movie, guys. Check it out. And today we're traveling across the pond to watch Peeping Tom by Michael Powell, a 1960 film. You're probably if you are familiar with Michael Powell, it's probably through his filmmaking partnership with Emmerich Pressburger, where they made films like The Red Shoes, Black Narcissus, Matter of Life and Death, The Life and Death of Colonel Blimp. Very acclaimed filmmaker, usually worked in more romantic spaces or melodramatic spaces, well renowned for their use of really intense Technicolor. And in 1960, Michael Powell said, "Let me get a weird one in," and made an insane film called Peeping Tom. This was a horror film, as you can tell, but about a serial killer who kills women with a camera specially outfitted with a knife, and films it all and makes snuff films to watch back at home. And it's crazy that we are stuck in his perspective. We are in his POV right from the jump, and we are with it till the very end.
Yeah, that's what made this movie really unsettling to watch.
I'm just going to say now, this movie was savaged upon release. Critics in England were it was very in vogue to be like, this is the most immoral film ever made, and get real weird about it. And then it was pulled from cinemas after 5 days.
Wow.
It played in one theater in the States, in the East Village, where it was cut down significantly and in black and white. Not sure how that happened.
Oh, interesting.
But it got a little bit of a cult following here, and then later on, Martin Scorsese saw the unedited cut, and he was like, "Oh my God, this is the coolest thing ever," and began to preach about it for a decade, and then was able to do a restoration of it with Thelma Schoonmaker in the 90s post Goodfellas. That's what he used his clout for, folks. Saving classic film.
Nice. So, Joe, before we really get started, I have a real quick question.
Yeah.
So I know that, as you said, that the critics in Great Britain really demolished this movie and really nearly totaled Michael Powell's career.
They do not have tea and crumpets with it.
No. Would you say that since the reception of that movie in Great Britain, they saw the same?
So, like I said, this film didn't really get a big release in the U.S. It played in literally one theater.
Which theater?
I was somewhere in Alphabet City in the East Village. So.
Oh, okay, that's kind of where I would expect.
Yeah. No, it was. I assume it was probably a pretty grimy theater.
Yeah. I was thinking you were going to say somewhere in Iowa.
So yeah, I was unable to find any contemporary U.S. critics on the film. And now, people talk about it all the time, but
right.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just curious if it received the same reception as in Great Britain, but clearly,
no, just a bunch of weirdos saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can add us to the list now.
And I mean, even in England, I can't imagine too many people saw it in those few days it played. But yeah, I don't know. Any opening thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I do. Thank you. First, what a weirdo. We'll get into that.
Oh, yeah. He's demented.
The more I think about it, too, it gives me very American Psycho vibes.
Yeah.
More so than I think you said some people attribute this to the first slasher movie.
Yeah, I don't see that.
Yeah, I think I get more American Psycho vibes than I do slasher vibes.
Yeah.
And I actually liked it much more than I thought I was going to like it from the way from the first 30 seconds, I was like, oh, I'm not going to like this. And then, like, 30 seconds later, I was like, no, okay, I can get into this. Also, how much is £2 in American dollars?
I think that's $2.
$2. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so I mean, quid is slang for pound. So if he's saying £2, then it's £2.
Yeah, this movie opens up with footage from his camera as he's soliciting a sex worker and then murdering her.
Yeah.
Crazy opening for a film in 1960.
Very.
Yeah.
And two, it's like in like that super Technicolor look, so it feels even more unreal to see something that grimy and
Also,
that.
I mean,
Girl, have some respect for
Yeah,
yourself.
I was like,
At least
girl,
10 quid.
seriously.
Yeah.
Like, I know things were cheap back then, but I know on Mad Men, it's like you have to times everything by 10, and you kind of get the modern amount of money. But like, I was like, oh, girl, that's like $20 now.
Yeah.
Like, come on, you're better than this.
Respect yourself.
Maybe it depends on the type of service she was offering.
I think we know what type of service. Anyway, what your guys' initial thoughts?
It's not what I meant, but anyway.
What'd you mean?
Nothing, never mind. Just thoughts, Katie.
get off
Thoughts.
topic.
Yeah.
I've seen movies in this genre that was made in the 60s. So like Psycho is one of my favorite movies from the 60s. And I know that Alfred Hitchcock and Michael Powell are two very different directors. So I was going in this with moderate expectations. And I actually really enjoyed it. I love the Technicolor of it, how like color really plays into the movie itself.
Yeah, that's kind of an interesting point that you bring up there. Like, is that like a thing in 60s horror movies, like voyeurism being kind of like, because Rear Window was like that, and Psycho.
I think the real thing is Freud.
Oh,
You know?
Yeah.
And, like, that was the mainstream psychology at the time.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, if a director was interested in that kind of stuff, they would have been reading Freud or about Freud and worked in a lot of those theories. And two, I mean, filmmaking as a whole is voyeuristic
That's
in
true.
many ways, which I think is really the main argument of this film. Is Michael Powell saying, "Yeah, I'm a freak."
Yeah. Yeah. But also, too, I would say that unlike with Psycho, because like Psycho, you see the killing happen, but you're not technically seeing it from the killer's perspective,
Yeah,
other than the
there's
front scene of Janet Leigh screaming into the camera.
There's a stretch where the camera does end up identifying with Norman when he's cleaning up the murder.
Yes.
At that point, narratively, you don't know he's the killer.
Right.
You just think like, oh my god, this guy is messed up and
Right.
he's doing the bidding of his mother. But like, I mean, now you know he's the killer.
Yeah.
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 But like, it does not stay there. This really forces you into his perspective.
Yes. Yeah.
Does it bother anyone else that when Janet Leigh gets in the shower, she just doesn't even check the temperature? She just gets in, turns the water on, and showers.
I mean, that whole opening, she's living on the edge.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, her mind is not all there. I will say a little bit of fun trivia. After Janet Leigh made that movie, she got so scared in that scene that she would no longer shower with a shower curtain.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you said you no longer shower.
No.
I was like, you're
She
living
would-
your whole life taking baths? How much time you got?
Right.
She would shower, but she wouldn't shower like in like
Okay.
enclosed spaces because
makes
of that
more sense,
scene.
yeah.
Yeah.
And no, I assume she wouldn't stay at any motels anymore.
You're hilarious, Lewis.
Yeah. I really enjoyed this movie. I do have notes, but we haven't really discussed too much into the film, so I'll save that
Okay.
for later. But I really did enjoy it, and I think some of the themes that it's addressing in the film, I liked the film.
I'm glad. All right. So, yeah, we got... this was written by an interesting guy, Leo Marx, who was a very important code breaker in World War II and did a lot of cryptography involving poetry. Interesting fellow.
Yeah, that is
Look into
interesting.
him if that fascinates you. No idea why he was tapped to write Peeping Tom, but all right, man. And we got Karl-Heinz Baum as Mark Lewis. Weird actor. Very, very interesting performance.
Very.
I mean, obviously, his character holds a lot of childhood trauma, as we'll get into.
Oh,
But
yeah.
he said he kind of saw the character as also having been partly traumatized by growing up in Nazi Germany, which I think adds a little bit of an interesting layer, because I will say, I mean, he is like a traditionally handsome-looking German man with blonde hair and blue eyes.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's kind of loaded imagery.
Yep. Yeah.
But interestingly enough, he plays it more like a Peter Lorre type. Like, he's, like, very, like, weird and snivelly a lot of the time. And, like, he
Very
darts
awkward.
around. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so after that opening scene, we see his job on the outside, where he takes lewd photos of women that go on sale in this newspaper shop, where just the nastiest middle-aged men come in and are like, "Ooh, I heard you have views for sale." That guy I was so appalled by. I was like, "You're gross. Get out of here." And then too, he paid like £5 for it too.
Yeah,
and I was like,
he paid
what
more
is
for the
going
pictures
rate?
than the woman charged for her services.
I know.
And she
Lady.
didn't even get paid.
Nope.
How rude.
Well, I mean, by the end of it, what is she really going to do with £2?
I don't know. I'm not sure what you can buy with £2.
I don't understand British currency. On Peaky Blinders, they're constantly paying people like £1, and they're acting like it's like a week's pay.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I guess.
Sounds good.
But yeah, and then he goes home.
Oh, wait. Well, hold on.
Wait,
Sorry. to
I'm
cut you
sorry.
off.
I'm jumping
But
around.
we gotta. So he goes to take pictures upstairs in this place.
Yes.
And then there's the girl with the weird. I guess she has a scar.
Yeah,
Or
I
is
think
it
it's a
burn?
cleft lip.
Oh, it is a
Yeah,
cleft
I
lip.
wasn't entirely certain. It might have been a burn. It might have been, yeah.
I thought that was gonna play a bigger part.
No,
Like,
he's really fascinated with
Yeah.
her in that
I
scene.
got the impression that she was a victim of abuse, like a domestic violence.
I was not certain about her. I know the other woman was.
Yeah,
but,
because it looks like it was actually like a slice,
Okay.
like her lip had been slit, unless I
Yeah.
completely.
No,
Yeah.
that I
Yeah.
believe that, because in that scene, the other woman kind of starts off joking.
Yeah.
She heard about the murder, and she's
Yeah.
like, well, "That almost happened to me the other night. I was
Yeah.
out with my boyfriend, and my fiance saw us." And then it turns dead serious, and
Yeah.
she's like, "Yeah, can you cover up these bruises?" And it's
Yeah.
like, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was gonna play a bigger part. I when you first see her, I thought it was a cleft lip, but then when it gets closer, I almost thought it was a burn. But yeah, maybe you're right. It was like a slash.
Yeah, that's kind of the feeling I got, that she was a victim of domestic violence.
Oh yeah. Either
Yeah.
way, yeah. Yeah, and then and it's interesting too, because later on he says whatever his camera shoots, they die, but she doesn't. She's the only one that he ends up. Well, I guess Helen at the end too. Spoiler.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's if they have fear.
if they have fear, that's another thing. There's a lot of Ellen. There's a lot of layers
Yeah.
to Peeping Tom. over
Yeah,
here.
and so he goes home, and this girl's like, "Hey, it's my 21st birthday."
Well, she did not look 21.
Yeah, I don't know. It was England.
Yeah.
This was they had like a toxic fog in London like 5 years before
True,
this, so like
Aged people.
Well, people died from it too, so.
Yeah. Well, she didn't.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying like the air quality
Yeah.
sucks. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, and she's like, "You live here, and I've never seen you. Why do you always run and hide?" And he's like, "Well, I'm shy."
I'm killing women in my spare time, so.
And
my
she
God.
goes up to his apartment to be like, "Hey, I brought you some cake." And he's like, "Would you like a drink?" And she's like, "Sure." And he's like, "I don't have any." And she's like, "Well, I would love some water." And he's like, "How about milk?"
What a bizarre sentence.
And he gives
Like,
this
a bizarre
woman who's been
sequence of
drinking a big old glass of milk, and I was just like, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
these people are sickening."
sentences.
I guess it also goes to the fact that mentally, I'm sure he's also trapped.
Oh
Yeah.
In his youth.
Absolutely.
And I guess that kind of goes back to like your take. I don't know if you said this on camera, if we were talking about it before, but how he's kind of like almost like trapped in like the like a childlike
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
state
like
kind of
later on, he drops that like he doesn't have locks in his apartment because he was never allowed them as a child, and like
Yeah.
that's just insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, then he drops like, "Oh, I'm actually your landlord. I own this house. This is my dad's house, and he left it to me." And it's like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
This is bizarre.
Think about how many streams of income this guy's got.
I know
Yeah.
he's got so many jobs.
Yeah, wow, real entrepreneur.
Because he also works on in a film studio as a
Yeah.
focus puller.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So that's what he was doing with the measuring tape?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That might have been also been for the light meter stuff. Yeah, filmmaking is a long, boring process with a lot of things you need to account
I
for.
actually liked those moments.
Oh yeah, no,
when
it's very cool to see.
when you
Yeah.
see like the behind the scenes, because I think not a lot of people realize how much goes on to make the films that we watch happen.
Yeah, even just seeing like the 10 guys around the camera, you're
Yeah.
like, oh my god.
Yeah, I love the little moments where he's like literally pulling something over someone to get the person's passing.
Yeah.
I think it added a bit of realism that's the kind of sort of hectic thing you would expect. So like I liked those little moments.
Yeah.
don't now they use like it's I don't know if it's a light thermometer.
Yeah,
or
it's a
something
little
like that.
light meter.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it
They,
takes
like,
a
walk
reading
up to
and
the
tells
actor
you
and,
like
like,
the
yeah.
f-stop you need to get it properly lit and stuff, and then you can...
It's crazy.
Also, not for any like this is just an aside though. I mean, like I was trying to wonder what is it about Mark that draws Helen to him, because looking at him,
because he's as you said, trapped mentally in like this childlike.
I get it, but like one of the first scenes is him peeping into
You're
their
being
window.
a creeper in the window.
So like no offense though, but like if I'm at a party and I see a dude just peeping in through the window, my first thought isn't going to be let me introduce myself.
Yeah, no, everybody
hand them a slice of
is
cake.
much too trusting of him, frankly.
And I understand different times,
Yeah,
maybe
and
there was that notion, but
I think it's like a kind of a metaphorical thing of like, oh, they are seduced by the images he is producing.
I
Yeah.
hope
But,
I
like,
hope so, because that would be a more
because,
logical explanation.
You know, later on, her mother, who's blind, is the only one who
I have
calls
to
it how
talk
it
about
is.
the mom when we get to her
Okay.
eventually, because something about her bothered me.
Okay.
But when we get to her eventually, I want
But
to...
yeah,
So
back at his apartment.
yeah, and this is when it gets. This
Yeah.
is like if him peeping in the window didn't do it, what happens next should have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Helen's like, oh my god, you're a filmmaker. That's so interesting. Can I see what you're working on? And he's like, okay. And he starts to pull out the snuff film, and then he realizes, wait a second.
Yeah.
And instead he pulls
She's
out...
not into that.
He pulls out My Childhood Abuse Greatest Hits Volume 1.
Yeah.
And starts showing her this insane, terrifying footage of him as a child taken by his evil father, who was a psychologist who was just looking to torture his son and film it all.
Yeah.
And I found the stuff where it's like the lizard, he's throwing like the lizard on his bed deeply disturbing. Like, in actuality, it's just a lizard, but it certainly plays like a metaphor for something a lot bleaker.
Yeah.
And she's really like, I don't know, she's really invested in this footage. And
Yeah.
she's like, Mark, where's that come from? What is that?
Yeah.
And eventually she freaks out because it ends with like him being given a camera by his father and then starting to film everything. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh my god, origin story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Well, quite literally, yeah.
Yeah.
I think also too, it's like what Michael Powell was trying to do also was make the audience sympathetic towards Mark, who's this serial killer, and you're not really supposed to be sympathetic towards this character at all.
Yeah, no, it's trying to engender you to his viewpoint, which is
Yeah.
which is so crazy.
Yeah.
And like, but you know, but like it is just such a it's very it does emphasize the abuse he went through a lot, and sort of just the cyclical nature of it, of like, oh, my father filmed all of my pain. So
she even says, like, when he's watching the couple kiss, she's like, oh, look at you being naughty, I hope you were spanked. And you're like, yo, lady, he was like abused. Like, watch it.
Well, I mean, it's like those offhanded comments we say all the time without really knowing a person's past to begin with.
But I like that scene because it shows that his voyeuristic tendencies were visible at an early age.
Yes.
Yeah.
And his father was just simply exploiting it. Because I like the perspective where it's him, then it pans, and it goes back, and then it pans again. So I was like, which happens a lot, because which obviously, like, a lot of serial killers show these things from an early age. But a lot of parents either don't notice or choose not to notice. Because, like, when they've interviewed parents of serial killers, like Jeffrey Dahmer was a big example, where his father was like, oh, yeah, we noticed he used to be isolated. He used to do this. He used to do that. But we didn't think anything of it at the time. So it's like, I don't think catching these things early on necessarily will prevent someone who's psychotic or sadistic. It's not really going to. But the fact that from an early age, those tendencies were already present in him, and his father exploited them. So.
And another thing about Mark is he loves to watch people watching. That's a big thing in this movie. It's getting the reactions of people on film. Like does he film Helen when she's watching the footage?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember.
I think so.
But he
does that at some later point.
He ends up killing an actress, a coworker of his.
Who is playing the coolest jazz music of all time in a portable reel-to-reel. Didn't know those existed. I was like, what? They had those?
Yeah.
And when he left her body in the trunk, I was like, what an idiot. Like, obviously it's going to be found, and then you find out this sick weirdo wants her to be found so that he can film the reactions.
He gets to film the whole investigation.
I kind of knew, like, once the trunk thing's like, oh, he left the body in the trunk. Even, like, his, like, you can see his anticipation as they start sounding out the colors, and I'm like, she's in the trunk.
It's not nervousness. Like, it's excitement.
Yeah.
It's
because, like, with a lot of serial killers, they revisit sites, they go to press conferences, it's the joy.
I'm a little nervous how much you know about serial killers, Simona.
So sorry that I read. But a lot of serial killers will do that. They'll attend the press conferences. When the parents give the victim impact statements, they'll attend those.
Not right in the elevator.
Because it gives that thrill. Watching the pain of others is a thrill. So.
And
is it?
We also
for them, yes.
We also see this this director in Mark's day job.
What a
yes.
Well, no, he was.
Yeah, and it's this parallel to Mark of this guy is just borderline abusing this actress to get better and better reactions.
He literally called her.
She did it at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's like, to me, hearing that word in a 1960s film was like, that was kind of jarring. Like, is that word, was that, do they say that? Did they say
I
that
think
kind of
in England it might have been a little more permissive with that stuff. But yeah.
I certainly know that in an American film you wouldn't have heard any of that.
Yeah, right. Like, I'm sure there were, but I just can't think of, like it was jarring.
Yes,
like,
it is jarring. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Like, geez, man, she just saw a dead body. Maybe that was supposed to be comical, though?
Well,
were they going for comedy?
Well, it's sort of like when the whole investigation happens and the director's saying, I guess this won't be concluded soon because time is money.
Yes.
So it's indicative of his lack of care. Like, even the fact that he puts her back to work, but he switches off. He says, it's not trunks this time, it's hats. Yeah. But the fact that she's so traumatized that the colors alone are enough to trigger when, but he, like... Yeah, and eventually when we do get to the part, because there was one part that I don't want to say anything before you get to it, Joe, where I was like, well, that's indicative of a lot of stuff that's happening right now in this movie. But that's how I saw it, too. It's like, you really don't care. They're all products.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found the whole the whole murder sequence with Vivian, the actress, like the stand-in actress, to be really upsetting.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's just excited. She thinks, like, I'll have something to put on a reel and actually get a real job for once.
Yeah.
And, ugh.
So we should talk about how he kills her he has this tripod, which I'm wondering, did he, rig this together himself?
I'm
did
sure
he
he
have
did.
to send for this in a catalog?
No, I'm pretty sure he
Like,
rigged it himself.
He loves looking at women and raising the leg of the tripod and then fiddling with it to then reveal a knife. Do with that imagery what you will.
Yeah.
Not a subtle film,
It's
folks.
No. This is in your face all the time.
But also, it's like how I feel so bad because now, granted, we're the audience and we know, but when you look at his interactions, he does not show any genuine interest. Unfortunately, none of the women seem to pick up on it, with the exception of Helen, because there is some interest beyond, But even with the actress that he kills, I'm like, girl. Like, the fact that he's like, stand there, please, and if she moves, like, his agitation when she moves off the mark, like, I was like saying, maybe you should start beeline for the exit.
I think my
Okay.
mother's calling. Sorry.
But also, too, you have to think about this, too. You're in a movie that's set in the 60s, a woman who's not married, who's trying to get a job, which is hard enough, and she wants this to be a success and, go with it, don't rock the boat, otherwise am I going to have another job after this?
Yeah, but I also thought it was a date, like not a job. I thought it was a date because she says I have a date, and then she looks at Mark, and like he waves creepily, and then just continues doing what. I thought it was an actual
I think it's
date.
just more like because she has plans.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
for some reason I took it as they were actually having a date. I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of flirtation,
Yeah.
especially on her end. But like,
Yeah, but like I like when she looks at him, and he's like, "Meh," and then just continues fiddling with the camera. Oh, but I did feel really bad for her.
Everybody is seduced by the camera. Everybody falls for it again and again. And then, okay, so we went through that. Oh yeah, it's just the whole sequence when he's filming the investigation is so insane. And then he's like creeping around on like the floorboards above the set, and then he drops his stuff. And
Classic mistake there too. Like, take your stuff out of your pockets, man. Also, those detectives were just really bad. Like, I think I heard a putty cat. Like, all right, man. Like, you're at a murder scene.
Yeah.
They were terrible.
Yeah, like
they were so flippant.
Well, I think also like because even like since a lot of the women, not that they were all prostitutes, but they were involved in that industry, there are like pejorative terms.
Oh yeah.
For women like that, and a lot of cops use it. So I kind of also saw it as the flippancy and like, oh well, who cares?
Also, too, you could also look at it this way. Also, is that they've seen so much death and murder that they're kind of desensitized to it as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But I was kind of nervous for Mark, which I know is not the point of that scene. I was like, oh my god, he's gonna be exposed. But I was like, that's not that smart. And I was like, okay, he made it. Like I was like,
you want him to be exposed. You want him to be caught.
in that scene, I didn't.
When
Like
the
I was like very
detective's holding
nervous.
his camera and he's like, just keeps like reaching for it, like he's like, like it's like his baby, like don't touch my baby.
Yeah.
Which leads us into one of the next big sequences when Helen is like, Mark, how about you leave the camera at home for a night? And Mark's like, what?
Yeah.
She talks him into it, and they actually have a nice time out.
Yeah.
Would you believe it? But her mother really doesn't like Mark. Her mother's blind. And there's a great line she says at one point where Helen says something about he's shy, and she says his footsteps aren't. He's stealthy.
Yeah.
Which is, perfect.
Well, yeah. I was like, when she said that, I was like, ooh, chills. You got it.
When when he shakes his hand and she feels his pulse.
Yeah.
She's like, would you run here? She knows he didn't run there.
Yeah.
She knows he's nervous. She doesn't trust him. She's got the best sense of anybody in the movie.
She does.
Yeah, because she cannot be seduced by the images.
Nope.
She's above the camera.
Because she's blind.
She's also a mom. She has a mother's intuition.
Yeah.
But like the
I wouldn't call it intuition. I would say that because you're blind, all your other senses are heightened.
There's all but also the fact that she kind of sees through him, I think is part, like can't think of it. There is an intuition related to it. The fact
Yeah,
that
of,
she
of
can,
knowing how to diagnose the footsteps. As,
yeah,
oh,
like
no,
there
this
is something there.
Yeah.
There's more to it than. I just was distressed for her when she decides to just chill and confront him. I was like, lady.
That was
Yeah,
but
that-
then she reveals, hey, my cane, it's got a knife too,
Yeah.
actually.
How'd she? What? She's blind. How'd she rig that up?
That might have just been like a design. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Or did she send out for a catalog? Where are these people getting these knives that are coming out of like random objects?
I thought it was also like it would have helped with
Yeah,
grip.
it might be that. Like,
Yeah.
it might be like, oh, it's better for like cobblestone or whatever, or like stuff
maybe,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I don't
But, like
really know.
in a pinch, like
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, it
great
helps.
self
But
defense weapon.
it's crazy. She's got like the hiking tip on, and
Yeah.
she's waving it around.
Yeah.
A hat
Right.
pin would work too.
Yeah. There's a song.
But yeah, and she's like, "All right, buddy. I live in this room pretty much. The blind always live in the rooms above them." And she's like, "I hear you walking around here late at night, turning that film machine on all the time. What are you doing?"
Did
Oh,
anyone else
God.
think you're so nosy? Go away. Like that's
No.
Nona was like, "Let him be. He's making a cool documentary."
No, honestly, I was like, okay, like just I was like, you are nosy as all hell, lady.
Well,
I was like,
if she doesn't leave the room, then I would be equally
like
as
honestly,
nosy.
I was so agitated. I was like, just leave. You're nosy, and I'm like, you have thought way too much on this. And I was shocked, honestly, that he just didn't kill her there because I was half tempted to do so. I was like, just leave. It's like I kept on thinking you were so nosy, and also she was too handsy with him too. It's like boundaries.
All right, Simona's pro serial killer. Again.
Oh, okay.
Well, so he starts playing the snuff film footage for her because he's a lunatic.
Yeah.
Put
And,
on Snow White or something,
yeah,
man. Like, come on.
and she could tell like this guy is sick.
Yeah.
This guy's sick, and he starts filming her,
Mhm.
and oh my god, it's so nasty.
And that's
Yeah.
when I thought she was gonna die. I was like,
And
oh, this is it.
she even says to him, she's like, "Why don't you lie to me? Why don't you lie to me?" And it's almost like he wants to be caught.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. He
found.
wants to be caught. Yeah.
And it's like this is almost like his like teaser,
Yeah.
you know, because he can't really be caught right now because she's blind.
Mm-hmm.
But it's almost like, all right, I'm practicing.
Well, even him handing his camera, which is something else they do that they're overly accommodating with authority figures. Like even him handing, and I was like, well, dude, you didn't have to hand it. And then like, well, now you've handed him, you're not gonna get it back, sort of a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, so then Mark, and then she's like, "I would never photograph you or Helen. I would never
Yeah.
do it."
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Unless you look afraid, I guess.
Yeah.
Because then he has to.
But there is a sense that he's like he wants to be rid of it, at
Yeah.
least
Mhm.
somewhat.
Yeah.
He keeps justifying it as like involuntary, which
Yeah.
I don't buy.
Yeah,
but,
no.
Yeah.
it is an excuse he keeps trotting out. But and on set they've brought in a psychiatrist because that poor actress is is really distressed after finding a dead body.
What wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I love how they're like, "Doctor, what can we do to make her better?" He's like, "Rest. What do you think? 30 minutes isn't going to do it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, he seemed like kind of a kook. Also, like
He rocked.
Well, he was definitely deriving some satisfaction from the proceedings because he had a
Yeah.
huge grin on his face. Like,
And Mark's like, "Oh, did you know my father?" And he was like, "Oh, he was working on Scoptophilia." And he's like, "Oh yes, Scoptophilia."
way too into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And which is voyeurism for those who aren't using terms from 1960.
Yeah.
And he's all like, and Mark's like, "Is there a way for it to be cured quickly?" And he's like, "Oh yes, very quick. Just analysis 3 times a week for a few years, and we can uproot their cause." And Mark's like,
can't.
"Don't got that time."
No.
see, I kind of saw it as basically because I thought he sort of at a certain point shut off because of like his disappointment in his father because I thought he realized, oh, I could have been cured had my father cared.
Oh, that's
Oh,
an
yeah.
interesting read on that. Yes.
That's kind of how I interpret because the fact that he immediately shuts down, he kind of dissociates from the conversation. He's no longer looking at the doctor, and he shows no real interest in furthering the conversation. Like, I saw it as, oh, this could have been different for me had my father cared.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, I
and-
definitely saw that too.
And when the cops talk to the psychiatrist after, he's like, oh, he has his father's eyes. Which, you know, obviously, in this case, that's a really awful thing to hear.
Yeah.
And Mark is like, I need to go kill a woman right now. And calls in an emergency softcore shoot to kill Millie. Very upsetting scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even what she says like, oh, you're too boring or something, but maybe if you weren't.
Yeah,
like,
she's like, maybe if it was dangerous to be around you, to be alone with you, it'd be more interesting.
Yeah, and then that's how the scene
that,
cuts.
yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
little
and,
does she know, she's about to die.
Yeah.
and then it all comes together at the end. Helen goes up and finds the film, and Mark's, and she's like, Mark, it's just a movie though, right? It's just a movie. And he's like, no.
She's trying to give him every benefit of the
Yeah.
doubt.
Yeah.
And he's like, please don't let me see your face, because you'll be if she's scared, he will be compelled to kill her. It's awful.
Yeah.
Brutal. And then he's like, oh yeah, my dad also wired the house for sound. I have recordings of everybody in this boarding house.
Prepared.
Oh my God.
And he's just playing it. Oh my God. And then he reveals finally the contraption that has so terrified everybody who he's killed is what's actually on the camera is a mirror, so they see their own face as they're being murdered.
I like that.
It's it's a very like distorted mirror too.
Yeah.
So it looks really freaky.
Yeah.
It kind of, for reference, if you rode on a school bus,
I have.
It's kind of like the mirror up front in those, where it's like a weird like circular thing, and everything looks weird in it. But and then he's like, and then the police catch on to him because the newspaper guy is like, he murdered a woman. Please do something about this.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're on it, mate. And they come running in as Mark's like, all right, I've been prepping for this one. And takes a crazy series of photographs of him running to impale himself on the camera and watch himself die.
Yeah. I like when the cops are running up to, and he goes out the window, almost like he got in there, like, it's just a camera. That was funny.
Yeah, and then Helen is like, man, I'm traumatized now. She's just crying on the floor because, like, what do you do in this situation?
Yeah.
And we hear a recording of Mark's father.
Oh, yeah.
Where he's like, there's nothing to be scared of. Good boy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh, brutal.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Wild movie for 1960.
Very.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. Any themes you want to comment on?
Ooh.
Well, voyeurism for one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was even thinking about his relationship to women figures in his youth. So his mother passes away. We don't know whether or not they were close. I don't know how much the mother was complicit in what was happening to the son. But I even the fact that even he couldn't mourn his mother properly because his father shoved a camera to capture that moment.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
The mother is quickly replaced by another woman, so you're thinking that could have also fueled some of his resentment towards women, which is often the case with a lot of serial killers. They have a deep resentment. But like he wasn't.
Lewis, you keep looking at her like that. I sit next to her in the office space, so.
You have to start like doing a neighborhood watch for one particular person.
So that.
I feel like this is a movie in and of itself. Like Simona just trying, just like committing a murder just to see if she can get away with it. Wasn't that a movie with? Wasn't that what that movie with Joaquin Phoenix and Emma Stone was about?
Oh.
Was it Irrational Man?
God, yeah. Why are you bringing up Irrational Man?
I don't know. Just because, like, wasn't it like he just committed a murder just to see if he could get away with it? Was that movie?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
Yeah,
this is a late period Woody Allen film.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not up on what's been going on there.
I don't know that I ever finished it. I mean, of course, I watched it. I had to watch because I'm a stoned. But yeah, I feel like that's what Simona would do. Like, she would just be like, I'm just going to see if I can get away with it.
Really?
Yeah, like, you find a random person. I'm not saying you'd kill any of your friends.
I'm hurt. No. Yeah, so those were like some themes
Moving on.
that like I kind of picked up on, and also like his stunted development, his lack of social skills. He can't really read social cues, but again, neither can anyone else that's around him.
Apparently, yeah.
But like credit to the actor's performance.
Yeah.
Because he did make me feel for what could have been had he been raised under different circumstances. And there's also that question, like, how much is it nurture versus nature? Like I said, he probably had the voyeuristic tendencies from an early age. Now, the murderous tendencies may have been a result of what happened to him.
May
You know?
have. It certainly was the result of it.
I also liked the conversation between the doctor and him. And also, like, voyeurism cannot be cured. There are treatments, but you're not curable. It's considered something you'll always live with. Because I wanted to see, can voyeurism actually be cured? It can't. You can't cure voyeurism.
It's not like a disease. It's
Well,
kind of
there
like-
are treatments.
Yeah.
So there's like cognitive restructuring and then behavioral modification. But
Is that the gene?
No.
The electrotherapy.
No. But it's considered a
Electroshock
chronic
therapy.
disorder
Okay.
that you're not really going to be able to cure. Like, and treatments will vary depending on the person being treated. Like, some may have benefits, but yeah, I think the general consensus is not something that's curable. You'll always have it.
Well, hey, this Freudian psychologist in a movie said it was.
So I guess,
don't
and
know.
also another thing, like,
Unbelievable.
so like the photo/porn hub that people frequent.
Yeah.
So, like, I had an issue with everything being so openly displayed because the Obscene Publication Act of 1959, because I looked this up, that would not have been a thing where you publicly displayed nude photographs.
Yeah. You know, it's funny you say that. I was wondering the same thing. Like, why are they being so secretive in the store when there's nude pictures on the outside of the store?
Yeah, like,
But,
so...
like, I don't know. But, like, you're also not... There's also, like, right now, like, a ton of, like, illegal weed stores.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah, but, like, they're not... If there's...
They're pretty open with their advertising.
They are pretty open with their
Right, but
advertising.
I don't think we're saying... not because it's illegal, but, like, why is that guy so secret?
Oh, yeah. No, that I didn't understand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because, like,
bro,
I
you're
was,
walking
like,
in
especially
here.
there's, like, a young girl who walks in there, but, like, the old perv, he, like, slips it in an anonymous... Which my dad was saying at a certain point, like, with porn magazines, they would have been behind the counter. They would not have been displayed as they are now. Now you can see they're not hidden. But, like, with this particular act, there would have been penalties and fines, and especially law enforcement were actively, like, they would target these kinds of places to see, like, especially anything that you were having a profit from was illegal.
Well, I think to Joe's point there, that's where the
Yeah.
the illegal weed shops now, like,
Yeah.
they, even though it's illegal, they're still like...
Yeah, I just thought it was so funny that it was all concerned, but it's like everything is
Yeah,
based,
it's like,
and I was
buddy,
like,
you're
okay,
walking- Yeah.
people know what's going on here. You know, it's
And all it says is educational books. Like, what? Like, that's... Like, your
Oh,
wife...
yeah.
your
The
wife's
bag
gonna-
is so funny.
Yeah, your wife's
Yeah.
going to see that and be like, why do you need educational books?
And also,
you
just
never
like,
stop learning.
why
It's
would
just not
why would that be printed on the bag?
Right, yeah.
Or-
that's a good
I don't go
question.
to Barnes and Noble and walk out with like a bag that says science fiction novel. Like,
Yeah. Or their marriage is such that they don't talk and they
Oh,
don't
I
have.
don't think that guy's married.
Yeah.
Then why is he being so secretive?
Because he had to go out in public. I guess I don't know.
It's being out in public with something nasty
Yeah.
and naughty.
Because, like I said, back in the day, they used to put it in like a nondescript bag, and you'd walk out. Like you didn't like probably like woohoo, look what I got, and like walk out with it.
Anyway, wow, we really went off the rails.
Yeah, I do really enjoy this as a film about filmmaking. I think it gets at a lot of stuff there in a very interesting and self-critical way.
Well, yeah, but what I think is interesting is that Michael Powell is essentially saying, like, us as an audience, regardless of what we're watching, it's like a form of voyeurism.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's a self-indictment as well. Like,
absolutely.
Scorsese, I'm going to read a quick quote from him on this. I've always felt that Peeping Tom at 8.5 say everything that can be said about filmmaking, about the process of dealing with film, the objectivity and subjectivity of it, and the confusion between the two. 8.5 captures the glamour and enjoyment of filmmaking, while Peeping Tom shows the aggression of it, how the camera violates. From studying them, you can discover everything about people who make films, or at least people who express themselves through films.
I've never seen 8.5.
Oh, it's a great movie.
Yeah?
Yeah, very fun. Yeah, it's just wild. It's long, but, like, there's always something crazy going on. Yeah. Have you seen any Fellinis?
I don't know. You'd have to...
La Dolce Vita is one of the big ones.
I don't think so.
La Strada.
I don't think so.
Oh, I love La Strada. Simone, you seen La Strada? Oh, you gotta see La Strada. You'll love it.
Let's watch it. Let's do it. I've never had any Fellini, but I've had a lot of linguine.
Hey! Yeah, all right. How many murder cameras we giving this?
So I'll lead off. I liked this. I liked this quite a bit. I'm gonna go 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5 murder cameras. I think it was exceptional.
I agree with Lewis. I will go 4.5. 4 out of 5.
She's just got a 1 up.
I do. Murder cameras.
I'm gonna give it 5.
Simona. Okay.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
It really spoke to you? Gave you some ideas? Inspiration?
Yeah, all right. I'm giving this 5 out of 5 murder cameras as well. I don't know. What are you going to say? Every Michael Powell movie I've seen has been a 5-bagger. Man can't miss. All right. I'm sure that will stand up when I see the stuff he did after this. Like, The Boy Who Turned Yellow. I'm sure that's going to be a 5-bagger as well.
I very much am already interested.
Could be jaundice.
It could be.
I have a feeling that's not what it's going to be.
That would take a bleak turn, right?
Yeah, very bleak.
They're going to say, you're a Simpson, kid.
Yeah, right.
And he's going to say, what is that? It's 1972. All right. But yeah, have a good one, folks, and we'll see you next time.
Oh,